Benidorm Enthusiast here, and February is almost upon us. But what is there to do in Benidorm in February? Is there anything going on? Any big events to look out for? Is there anything open in February? And what's the expected weather looking like this year? If you've been asking any of those questions, perhaps you've got a holiday already booked for February this year, or maybe you've been looking at a cheeky last-minute break. It is actually a very cheap time to come, by the way. Well, then this video is for you. Stay tuned as I talk you through what Benidorm is like in February. Okay, so February is still winter, guys, bear that in mind. So it is one of the quieter months and also one of the coldest months, often the coldest month of the year. However, judging by the weather we've had so far this winter, I don't think it could actually get much worse, to be honest. We've had one of the worst winters I've ever known. Surely we're not going to have a particularly cold February this year, at least in contrast to what we've already had in December and January. More on the weather forecast for this February in just a moment. First, let's have a look at what special events we've got going on here for the month ahead. And I have to say, for one of the quietest months of the year, there's absolutely loads to get stuck into in February. First up, it is a huge music event for all the soulies out there to enjoy. Benisoul runs from Wednesday the 4th to Sunday the 8th of February, a 5-day event celebrating Northern Soul, Motown, ska and reggae music for all those who enjoy those types of music, to meet up with like-minded individuals and enjoy live performances, DJs and other fantastic events on the same theme, and this attracts loads of people from the UK. The main bars for this year's Benisoul are Sinatra's and Mango Tango. That's due to the fact that Joker's has now sadly closed down. It's a ticketed event, so you will need wristbands to get into these bars for the main Benisoul events. There are some still available, I believe, and I think they're at just £45 for a 5-day pass, so very fairly priced. We'll post a link in the video description below where you can buy your wristbands. Other supporting bars for Benisoul include the Wookie Hollow 2, the Little White Bull, Royal Arrow, Planet Benidorm, Yellow Submarine, Vincent's Old Town and the Pub. And in all of these venues, they'll also be bringing all the soul vibes alive in Benidorm over the duration of the event. The wristbands are not needed to get into these places. The wristbands are just needed for the main events at the Benisoul, what they're calling the super clubs, which are Sinatra's and Mango Tango. And don't forget, if you are visiting for this year's event, Benidorm does have its very own soul bar, which is located on Calle Ibiza. And although they're not directly connected with the Benisoul event, they have Northern Soul acts and DJs all year round, and they will be stepping up the soul vibes even more so from the 2nd of February to the 9th. So absolutely make sure you get round there to the Soul Bar to party with them as well. You know when you buy something for travel and suddenly it becomes part of the trip? Level 8 is more than just luggage. It's like an actual travel companion. It's sleek, modern and stylish, so much so you will want to take it absolutely everywhere with you. It may well just become your most reliable plus one. Always there to share the moments with and never letting you down. It's lightweight, durable and it rolls ridiculously smoothly, which makes it super easy to travel with. Inside there's loads of space with proper compartments, so everything actually stays where you put it, and yes, it's got a TSA approved lock too, which is always a bonus. With loads of choice of sizes and colours on the website, there's something for all styles and personalities, and you can choose single cases or go all out with a matching set. It's the kind of luggage that makes you feel organised, even if everything else about your travel life is slightly chaotic. And once you've travelled with it, you genuinely wonder why you didn't upgrade sooner. So if you're thinking about treating yourself this year by upgrading something you use on every single trip, check out the link in the description and use code Benidorm10 to get 10% off your level 8 luggage. Careful though, once you've got it, you might start taking it absolutely everywhere. Thanks to Level 8 for sponsoring this video. In February, we will also see thousands of people heading out here to watch the Six Nations. Massive sports tournaments like this always draw big crowds in Benidorm, mainly due to the high number of bars with big screens. with a good chance of a little bit of sunshine thrown in just a couple of hours on a flight, which is generally pretty cheap at this time of year. It's a no-brainer for many to come here and watch the sports, and you're spoiled for choice with places to watch the sports nowadays in Benidorm. But the main bars for the Six Nations are the Plaza Bar in Rincon de Leix for the Welsh and the Guinness Bar on Levante beachfront. That's for all nationalities. The Guinness Bar is known as the home of rugby in Benidorm, and it's always a great atmosphere in there with a mix of all different supporters, lots of good banter and loads of screens. And if you head up to the Plaza Bar, if you are a Welsh fan, you will be surrounded by red. It is an absolutely great atmosphere in there for the Welsh fans. Another music event at the start of Feb, and this one I'm really looking forward to, is a one-off gig at the Grand Bali Hotel with Tunde, who was the lead singer of the Lighthouse Family. And Shola Amma is supporting. Right up my street this, and I got my tickets for this as soon as they came out. I was a big fan of the Lighthouse Family growing up when I was younger, so as soon as I heard about this, I was like, yeah, I'm going to that. It's going to be like going back in time for me. I'm even flying my sister out for it, who got to meet Tunde when she was 16 working as an extra on Top of the Pops. I've searched high and low for that footage, but Katie, you'll be happy to know that I didn't manage to find it. But yeah, we'll be really looking forward to that. And that gig is on the 5th of February at the Grand Bali Hotel, and there are still some tickets available. So if you fancy that, check out the link in the video description below. Following that is another massive music event, and this one's completely different but massively popular and attracts people from all over Spain, as well as dipping into the international tourist pool as well. It is, of course, the Benidorm Fest. So this is a song contest, and usually the winners of the Benidorm Fest will go on to represent Spain at the Eurovision Song Contest. But being that Spain have pulled out of Eurovision this year for political reasons, that prize is off the table. But winning the Benidorm Fest is quite the accolade in itself anyway, and the competition to decide the winner is a spectacular event. There's a nice little 150 grand cash prize up for grabs as well. So the live shows for Benidorm Fest take place at the Palau Sports Centre, which holds around 3,000 people. The semi-finals are on the 10th and the 12th of Feb, and the grand final is the 14th. Tickets for these do tend to sell out though, so if you haven't been lucky enough to bag yourself a ticket for the live shows, you can watch along at the Euro Club, which is an area where fans can meet, mingle and party and watch the live shows, which is set up on big screens and stages to be streamed onto. In between the live shows and the final date, they have events at the Euro Club as well. So on the 11th of Feb, it's the Fan Zone concert. This will be at the Town Hall Square. That's the Plaza SESI Emieri Reyes de España. And during this, the previous year's contestants will perform here, and it serves as a big open air party to really get people in the Benidorm Fest mood. Then after the semi-finals, on the Friday the 13th, the contestants who didn't make it through to the grand final will perform at another open air concert. This time it will be in the Auditorio Julio Iglesias. That's the big amphitheatre in the park behind the town hall. There'll also be some special guests performing, and it's going to be another wild party night with lots of energy, colour and vibrant costumes, and of course lots of music. A lot of the bars in the Old Town will also be getting in Benidorm Fest mood, holding parties and events linked to the concerts, and in coordination with the music event, Benidorm is also organising a gastronomic event to run at the same time, which is Tapa Fest. And this year there are 20 establishments taking part in this foodie fair. Each restaurant or bar has prepared a tapa specifically for the event, which relates to one of the artists or the songs, and we're all invited to get around and try as many of these tapas as we possibly can and vote for our favourites. We did a video on this last year and enjoyed some absolutely delicious specialist tapas. They're all at a set price of €3.50, so you know exactly what you're going to be spending beforehand. Tapa Fest will be running from the 6th to the 15th of Feb, so you've got 10 days to get round and try as many of these places as possible. For more info, check the video description below. We'll post a link where you can download a map with all the venues listed along with their Tapa entry, and also look out for our video from last year. We'll post that link below as well. So that brings us up to Valentine's Day, which falls on a Saturday this year, so it will be a Valentine's weekend, and we will get a nice little boost in tourism numbers for it. Yes, people do come to Benidorm for a romantic weekend. Benidorm can be whatever you want it to be at the end of the day, due to the fact that there is so much variety of things to do here. So if you want it to be a romantic break, it absolutely can be. Lots of the hotels here in Benidorm will be making Valentine's weekend extra special with gala type dinners and shows and things like that, and I'm sure there will be some extra special romantic shows around town from the Benidorm acts. Benidorm Palace will be amouring up their usual elements show and dinner with a Valentine's twist on Saturday the 14th, and they also have a special event on Sunday the 15th of February, which is Celebrating Celine. A full production tribute show brought over from the UK for one night only, featuring Lisa Harter as Celine Dion, backed by a full live band. We'll post a link below in the video description where you can get your tickets for the Benidorm Palace if that tickles your fancy. Moving on to the following weekend, which is Carnival in Spain. Now, Carnival is a traditional fiesta celebrated in the run-up to Lent. During Carnival, people dress up in costumes, take part in parades, music, dancing and street parties, all the typical usual festivities, and they enjoy a festive atmosphere full of colour and fun. Carnival has religious roots, it being a way to enjoy rich foods, feasting and celebration before the start of Lent. But today is mainly a popular cultural festival with local traditions, plenty of humour, music and spectacle. And here in Benidorm there will be two parades for Carnival, one for the children and one for the adults. Both parades will be on Saturday the 21st of Feb. Time is still to be confirmed though, so keep an eye on our Facebook page for more info on that. The burial of the sardine marks the end of Carnival, and this happens on Tuesday the 24th this year. This event parodies a funeral procession in which a sardine, a symbol of Carnival's revelry, is mourned before being burned in a large bonfire. The celebration holds profound symbolism, marking the end of the unrestrained Carnival festivities and the beginning of a period of sobriety and reflection characteristic of Lent. Here in Benidorm, it's also been adopted as a sort of farewell to winter. At the Culture Centre in Benidorm in February, overlapping with Carnival time, there will be a Lilo and Stitch musical. Ohana is a musical theatre production for all the family to enjoy, with endearing characters, vibrant songs and a rhythmic stage show. That starts at 6 p.m. on Sunday the 22nd of Feb, and tickets are €12. Check out the link below for a description and if you want to book yours. On to more sports events now, and just the one home game for CF Benidorm in February. That's the local football club, of course. That's scheduled on the 8th of February at midday. The other weekends this month are away games. If you'd like to go and watch CF Benidorm play at home, drop me a message, drop me an email for tickets. They're just €10. Tickets kids go free as well. So get in touch if you'd like to go and watch them play. And you can of course go and watch them away, and the matches are never really too far. So drop me an email at thebenidormenthusiast@gmail.com for more info on that. What's open in February in Benidorm? Is there much? Well, this is the month we'll start to see the few bars that have closed for a winter break start to reopen, usually towards the end of the month. But there's loads open all year round in Benidorm anyway. We'll also start to see bars which have been closed for refurbishment, and new bars that are being built should be getting close to completion by the end of the month too. And we'll have some great videos coming up showing you all of these new places getting ready for the 2026 main season. When it comes to attraction parks, they're not all open yet. It's far too cold for the water parks, and Terra Mythica theme park doesn't open till later in the year either. But Terra Natura Zoo is open at the weekend with a special offer in February, and Mundamar still have their VIP tour running even though the park isn't fully open. Loads of excursions running as well, like the trip to Guadalest village or the neighbouring town of Villa Hyosa, and things like the quad bike tours, the Jeep safaris or the downhill bike ride are all running throughout February too. There's plenty to do to keep you occupied in February without a doubt. So let's get back onto the weather and what does February have in store for us? Well, being completely honest, we've had a terrible winter. I'm freezing sat here right now. So we've had one of the coldest and one of the wettest winters on record. It seems like we've been faced with storm after storm as well. Not specifically here in Benidorm, but Spain in general has got battered this winter with some really extreme, unusual weather events. Will that continue in February? I really hope not. Normally February is a really cold month, but surely this weather has got to settle down soon. It's not looking too promising for the start of February though, I have to say. With a bit of rain, a bit of cloud and a bit of sun all thrown in there on the forecast. Peak temperatures only hovering in the mid to high teens. That is about average for February. But it's looking like the nights will be warmer than usual. Average nighttime temperature for February is about 8 degrees. But this year there are not many nights forecast where the temperature is going to drop into single figures. So I for one am extremely happy to see that. Every forecast that I look at for Benidorm is different for the next couple of weeks though. It really is difficult to say with any certainty what it's going to be like for more than a couple of days in front. The long-term forecasts are showing a lot more sunshine for the second half of Feb, but temperatures are low to go with it, which is not ideal. I did find one monthly outlook which showed sunshine every day and daily temperatures in the high teens for most of the second half of the month. So that is the one I'm going to go with. Always the optimist, me. I just can't see how this rough weather can continue for much longer. So my prediction is that February is going to be the month where we see the winter weather improve dramatically this year. Okay guys, that's about it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it informative. Don't forget to check out the description for any extra info on all the things I've mentioned and links to where you can book your tickets for the events mentioned too. If you're heading this way and you're a group and you'd like a private transfer, that's something we can also help you out with. So drop me an email at thebenidormenthusiast@gmail.com if you want to do that. If you are a big group, a private transfer is a no-brainer. It can work out at as little as €7 or €8 per person. No waiting around at the airport for other people and no going all around the other hotels to drop others off. Straight to your accommodation in 45 minutes from the airport. If you want to come and see me this February, I will be at Funky Flamingo every Friday afternoon and Monday night in Feb. So come and say hello and give me a song on the karaoke. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok at the Benidorm Enthusiast. Stay positive and stay safe.